Hey YouTubers, so what is a Sabiki rig? Rigs got their start in Japan. They're used in fish mostly for scads, sardines, mackerel, most popularly from boats, but you can do it from any place where you can go straight down like piers and jetties. They usually have anywhere from 5 to 10 dressed hooks. The less hooks means it's a little bit easier to use if you're not used to it. Commercial guys, like when I used to be commercial, I always used to use 10 to 12 hooks. And they are no bait needed. They are pre-baited. Pre-baited means that you got all these beads here that are glow in the dark. You got your thread, so you have it is pre-baited. All right. Okay, you can use rods. You know, that's a lot of people like use rods because it's simple. But me, I was commercial before. I used hand line. So the hand line basically was thick parachute or polycord, something easy to grip with your hands. But we used gloves back then, and we put that twirled up in a small flat container, like a wash tub container, and we go at night. And we use Palo to attract them in with lights. Now lights we use with foam rings around it. We throw in the water that would attract them. But the main thing was the Palu. Palu is a local term for bait. And what I did, it wasn't a big secret, but what I did is I would get a 5-gallon bucket and I would go to Love's Thrift Shop Bakery, buy a bunch of bread wholesale, 50 cents a loaf, or wait for 2 to 3 days to buy $1 for 3 loaves, which was a good deal. I would mix all that bread. I would mix that with canned sardines. Go somewhere where I can get the cheapest price was canned sardines, and at the time was Long's Drugstore. And I'll mix that, and it would form. I'll just take it out just like that with a cover on it, and add water when I'm out in the field. Now the secret to that is fine white sand. Now if you were just to throw the Palu out the way it is, it would just float off. But if you mix it with fine white sand into a slush that looks like oatmeal for breakfast in the morning, I'll just use a spoon, and I'll just spoon a couple hits, and it keeps the fish around. It keeps all that bait fish around. And what we do is I just bring them up one by one. On a good night, I would bring in about 250 to 300 pounds. A so-so night, about 150 pounds. Okay, and we always kept a Mercy line in the back of the boat. Mercy line, basically, it's a rod setup. It's a live bait rig all ready to go. So I would hook one up and toss it out. And that's how we got our sheebies, younger yellowfin tunas. So we call that a Mercy line. Unfortunately, we caught as many sharks as we did sheebies, but this is basically a Sabiki rig. These are made by Mustad, and they're called ultra points. Ultra points is a term they use for their hooks that are gone through a certain chemical process. The process will keep the tips sharper and longer for 30. That's actually sharper 30% longer than the average hook. So that's the process they refer to as ultra point. So use whatever brand you like. Basically, I like rigs like these that are pre-made. They're inexpensive. Make sure that it helps when your beads are glow-in-the-dark beads, and that's it. You can use them off the shoreline if you got a deep drop. They're right in front of you. Piers, jetties, works the best. All right, thanks.